It's easy to stay up to date with all things childcare. Simply click the subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video.
When you can't be the perfect mum you wish you were. If there's one thing that's extremely frustrating, it would be this: accepting the fact that you can never be the perfect mother you wish you were. Not even if you tried. So how can you handle your flaws as a mum and still be the best imperfect version of yourself? In this video, we'll talk about 8 things you can do as you embrace your flawed self, and hopefully forgive yourself for not being perfect. Number 1. Take the time for self-care. More often than not, this is something that many mums, especially new mums, miss out on. They're so busy taking care of their children and the rest of their family that they forget to take care of themselves. Guilty? Don't worry. You're not the only one who's guilty of this at one point or another. But if there's one thing you have to realize, you need to take care of yourself first so you can care for other people better. Number 2. Love yourself and all the flaws that come with who you are. Mums are, hands down, amazing at loving their children unconditionally, flaws and all. So isn't it ironic how we find it tough to love ourselves the same way? Why is it that we often find ourselves more critical of our flaws and constantly find opportunities to put ourselves down simply because we're not perfect? Training our minds and hearts to love ourselves for who we are taking a lot of patience. Thankfully, it's not an impossible feat. Number 3. Don't build your world around your children. True, being a mum to your children is a major role that you'll always play, but you still need to keep that thin line between your personal life and your life as a mum. And while your children are an essential part of your life, they shouldn't be the only ones defining your existence. Why? Because eventually, your children will have to leave your nest. Building your world around them increases the chances of you encroaching on your children's personal lives, causing unnecessary friction between you and the future. Number 4. Accept that your role as a mum is something you'll play for life. Once a mum, always a mum. And while you're not the perfect mum, as there's no such thing as such, you can play that role the best way you can. How? By always being there to support your child through thick and thin. It doesn't matter how old our children may be. As mums, we know that our role in their lives goes beyond the first 20 years of their lives. We'll always be there to nurture, teach, care, love, and understand them. Number 5. Be okay with saying sorry. It may not seem like it, but learning to apologize when we have to is also a skill that you need to learn as an imperfect mum. Because let's admit it, we're every bit as flawed as our children. So if we expect our children to apologize to us when they do something hurtful, don't you think it's just right that they expect us to apologize when we do the same to them? Of course, that doesn't mean simply saying a half-hearted apology every time we lose our temper or forget to do something vital. We don't want our kids to feel as though we're taking them for granted by apologizing when we don't sincerely feel sorry for whatever it is we've done. Number 6. Accept whatever feedback your child may have. When our children don't give us the feedback that we want to hear from them, it can sting more than just a little bit. But that is also part of playing the role of an imperfect mother. Your child is a unique individual with unique thoughts and beliefs, just as you do. So when communicating with your child, make sure to keep your mind open. Just because you share a mother-child relationship doesn't mean you have to see eye to eye on everything. Number 7. Make sure that you regularly spend quality time with your children. If there's one thing that moms have in common, it's the fact that we're almost always running out of time. There are just so many things that need to be done, and sometimes it can feel like we're being pulled in all different directions. Especially if you're juggling a career on top of being a mum. But no matter how busy you may get, we hope you don't forget that your children deserve the first spot on your priority list. Number 8. Don't take everything personally, especially when your tween intentionally misbehaves. One of the most painful moments that we have to live through as parents are dealing with what they call growing pains. If you think dealing with a toddler and their terrible twos is already enough to give you a headache, wait for when you'd have to deal with teenagers. At this point, Your children are bound to do and say things that will hurt you. Ever heard of kids who attempt to run away or do everything they can to pick a fight with their parents? You probably remember those days when you've given your parents a headache too. But that's simply part of growing up.
Hope you got value from this video. Remember to click the subscribe button and hit the bell so